Hugh Hewitt Show. 44 minutes after the hour, America, it's Hugh Hewitt. Joined now by a new, soon-to-be congressman in Arizona, Vernon Parker. There's a new district over there, the 9th District. Now, listen to me, Arizona, and everyone else around the country. This is a new seat. We picked this up. It's +1 for the Republicans in the House. That's why it's got to be a national race. And Vernon Parker is a terrific candidate. And because, for a lot of reasons, he was the general counsel of the Office of Personnel Management, which was the job I held like 25 years ago. Vernon Parker, welcome to the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Thank you, Hugh. And you are still a legend at the United States Office of Personnel Management.
I would hate to think
to follow, my friend.
I would hate to think there's anyone left from my tenure there. They would be very old lawyers. Vernon Parker, congratulations. It was a very heated contest in the primary. I knew a lot of the candidates over there, a lot of friends in it, and I stayed out of it. But in the 9th now, you are the Republican nominee. And tell people, first of all, where this new district is so they know if they're voting for you or they know if they know someone who's voting for you.
Absolutely. It's mostly North Phoenix. It's also Arcadia, Biltmore, all of Tempe, all of Ahwatukee, West Mesa and West Chandler, a sliver of Paradise Valley, and a sliver of Scottsdale. So it's a pretty big district.
Now, I think you'll actually be my congressman in Phoenix because KKNT is in the Biltmore. So I assume that you will be my new congressman. But this district was drawn a little funny. It's right on the edge of 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this is a toss-up district, and when they redrew the lines, they expected to capture the seat for a Democrat. But hey, guess what? As we say in the South, that ain't going to happen.
Now, tell people about yourself, Vernon Parker, more than my little glimpse. You're a former senior aide to George Herbert Walker Bush, former senior appointee of George W. Bush, city councilman there in the district. But run people through your life.
Yeah, I was raised by my grandmother in an area that was replete with drugs, gangs, and violence, and the famed rapper Snoop Dogg. He lived right around the corner. First person to go to college, went to law school at Georgetown, graduated from there, and I met a guy named Lee Atwater when I was there, and Lee was brilliant. He said, "Hey, you got a job?" I said, "Not yet, Lee," so he hired me, and I met then Vice President George H.W. Bush, went on to serve as General Counsel of the United States Office of Personnel Management, and served as a special assistant to President George H.W. Bush in the White House. And I served under President George W. Bush. I was unanimously confirmed by the United States Senate as an Assistant Secretary of Agriculture, and came back to Arizona, ran and served as the mayor of Paradise Valley, Arizona, where I got 67% of the vote, the most votes in the town's history. And when I served as mayor, Hugh, this was really quite interesting. It was 2008, and they said, you know, we are out of money. You have to raise taxes. And I said, no, we're not going to do that. And we did not raise taxes. We ended up cutting our budget by 30% and cutting our staff by 29%. And the town of Paradise Valley is a lot better off for that right now.
Now, Vernon Parker, you are running against, I think, probably the most radical leftist of the new Democratic Congress candidates. There might be some people who are more to the left than Ms. Sinema in the Congress already. But tell us about your opponent.
Well, she was a state legislator. She was actually ran for the Phoenix City Council as a Green Party candidate. She was a spokesperson for Ralph Nader. She signed a communist manifesto. She has also said that stay-at-home moms are leeches. But the one thing that I think that disturbs me the most is that she advocated for the closure of Luke Air Force Base, and that would mean the loss of 17,500 jobs, $2.2 billion to the economy. And the day after 9/11, she was the one, she actually protested to say that we should not use force to go after bin Laden, that we should use the legal system to bring him to justice.
Now, Kirsten Sinema, and this is of no account to most people, certainly not to me and to you, but she's also the first openly bisexual candidate for Congress, and her politics, radical green, radical cultural issues, radical across the board. Does this matter in this district? I just don't know if it matters that you're a hard lefty.
Well, you know, it was really funny because the Arizona Republic, when they wrote the story, they said that this race was intriguing because they said that we would be the first of our kinds. You just mentioned her unique characteristic, and and they said that because I am an African American, that I would be the first one elected out of the state of Arizona. But I think I think that people are concerned about one thing: jobs and providing for their families, and I think when we take a look at that, we have to take a look at the policies of the individuals, and I don't think that her policies would be one to promote job growth in the state of Arizona, nor would it be one to promote job growth in the United States.
Let's talk money, Vernon Parker, because obviously you're going to be on the favor of the private sector and growing the economy and being a strong defense advocate. But the DCCC, the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, has reserved almost $3 million in television time in this district. How is the NRCC doing on your side? And can our audience help you by going to VernonParker.com?
Absolutely. It's VernonParker.com, and we need all the help that we can get. We are going up against a lot. Well, look, she was just endorsed by the Atheists, and they have asked for people to send donations to her from there. Nancy Pelosi just sent out a fundraising letter. So if you go to VernonParker.com, that'd be awesome. And yes, our brethren at the NRCC, they are going to come in because they see and they know that we can win this seat. And I am so excited because we're going to bring a brand new brand of politics or into the United States Congress by far.
And how is the energy level? I always know going door to door in Arizona in September is a little bit dicey.
Well, I did it from March until August 28th, and I'm still doing it. I've dropped about 15 pounds because the average temperature was probably somewhere around 115. But you know what? I love it, though, Hugh, because you are talking to the people. You are face-to-face with them. And believe me, I can understand a lot more talking to people and making sure that their views are being heard.
Vernon Parker, we need you in the Congress. We'll have you back between now and then. I hope I get over to Arizona and help out in an event. VernonParker.com, America. I'll try and get him added to the at-right list as soon as possible, but remember that name, VernonParker.com. Arizona's 9th Congressional District, soon to be a new congressional candidate. Stay with me. I'll be right back on the Hugh Hewitt.